We are so excited to have this conversation in honor of Cyber Careers Week. We are talking about the pathway to intelligence for building mission-critical cybersecurity workforce talent. You're chatting with AstrumU and also Dr. Davina Pruitt-Mental. He is a PhD working for NIST and the lead for academic engagement, which is a critical part of this topic. Also, Adam Ray, the CEO of AstrumU. He was just talking to me earlier about their mission, had me all fired up about the great work they do in kind of creating that North Star career mapping, letting folks know how to kind of build out cyber talent, workforces, and for the talent themselves. So first, I just kind of want to talk about, if you've never heard of this whole notion of Cyber Careers Week, what is it? What is your role in kind of helping drive academic engagement around it? First to you, Dr. Pruitt-Mental.
Yeah, so Cybersecurity Career Week, it is the third week in October. So we try to help support October Cybersecurity Awareness Month, but really a way of having a campaign to promote the discovery and exploration of cybersecurity careers, and a time to help spotlight and share resources that increase public's understanding of the multiple learning pathways, the multiple credentials, the multiple opportunities in cybersecurity, that it's not just technical, it's not just a hacker with a hoodie in a basement. There's multiple opportunities in cybersecurity, and that's what we're trying to do, is demystify the understanding of the job opportunities in cybersecurity.
I love that. I love the demystification piece of it, because I do think that's something people have, this idea that a cyber career is a very linear or specific path. Working for ClearanceJobs.com, we obviously know that's not the case. So Adam, could you kind of speak to that? What is AstrumU's role in Cybersecurity Careers Week? How are you partnering with folks like Dr. Pruitt-Mental and the government and industry and candidates on this notion of like building a better cybersecurity workforce?
Yeah, no, I'd love to. If you look back a little bit at the challenge, especially when you're talking cybersecurity, there's a lot of different pathways to get there. A lot of different training, as Dr. Pruitt-Mental already called out. I think one of the things that AstrumU is trying to do is quantify those pathways and the skills that people have and the gaps that they're trying to address or match into, so that they get better opportunities, so that they can understand where to invest their time, their resources, and how employers can start to understand those skills. They come in, shall we say, non-traditional packages. Well, I'll give you a perfect example of this. My own eldest son, when he was walking into the cybersecurity segment, he was trying to understand which way should he take, because he decided not to go the traditional college route. And, I work in this space, I run an AI company, and darn, it's hard to actually figure out which program is the right program that's going to actually give you the skills get there, and which program the employers can trust to get the skills on the other side. And so I think, AstrumU is focused on solving that problem. We're doing it at an individual level. We're very committed to the idea of being able to level the playing field by helping individuals understand what skills do I have and what pathways are available to me through education to a better outcome. And we think cybersecurity is an area that is going to really create a lot of alternative pathways for non-pedigreed individuals, because there's just, so much opportunity and there's so much talent out there. It's just, we need to be able to break that down so people can actually understand how it can be applied to the segment.
Yeah, that's key, because we talk so much about we need more cybersecurity workers, right? We need more folks to pursue these career paths without necessarily showing them what that path looks like. So maybe Dr. Pruitt-Mental, can you talk to some of the activities, engagements, things that are taking place around Cybersecurity Careers Week to help inform and educate on that piece of it, that there are paths into these careers and what do they look like?
Yes, absolutely. So during the week, we have academia, industry, nonprofit organizations, our government partners, all working together to build awareness around the wide range of cybersecurity job opportunities, and to educate interested individuals on how to develop those capabilities. So we have webinars, there's podcasts, there's working with our partners, our certification bodies have, training opportunities that they make available for free for people to engage in. And we really try to drive people also to the NICE framework, the workforce framework for cybersecurity, so that they're able to see, the 7 broad categories in cybersecurity, but also those, the knowledge and skills for those particular work roles, so that they can then investigate a little bit in terms of what they're interested in, what skills and knowledge they might already have, and what are they missing, so that then they can connect and see what opportunities are out there available. We also try to drive them to cyberseek.org, to the heat map, so that they can see the job opportunities right down to their local area, and they can see from that what opportunities are in highest demand in their area, and then what skills and knowledge are needed in that area. And then also there are links then to educational opportunities, whether they be certification providers, 2 or 4 year institutions, boot camps, apprenticeships. There's such a wide range, but what we try to do in the week is working with partners, really highlight all the vast plethora of resources that are out there, so that people can then start to explore those as possibilities.
Yeah, I love that. I love the different ways that we can explore these careers. I love the work that you do, Adam, because it sounds like you're a bridge builder between the work that Dr. Pruitt-Mental is doing and the workforce that we have that's actually out there. So kind of speak to that piece of it, because I think we really need those kind of academia, industry, government partnerships to solve what is this really big problem of getting enough talent into these spots. So kind of what do you do as a bridge builder, and how are you kind of playing a role in this Cybersecurity Careers Week as well?
Yeah, I'd love to give a little bit more clarity there. And so, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is we're trying to index all these different educational pathways, whether that is, a boot camp to a 4-year degree diploma based on skills. And so, do they actually create the necessary skills that they say, and what's their applicability to the employer's role in cybersecurity, or specifically what they're looking for in said role. And so we look first from that perspective, and then we bring it down to the individual through verified data, so we can understand in that non-traditional way. Basically, we have as an AI data platform an inference to predictive engine. It's basically skills matching intelligence. And so the traditional way in which people try to understand an individual is more what is being now called in the HR industry talent intelligence, which is labor market analytics down to the bottom, trying to figure out group to cohort, macro to best you can get to the individual, direct assessment, which is often referenced as skills matching, which is very focused, usually on one specific area, and then self-reporting. And the challenge with all 3 of these is they're very limited, and they don't really capture the holistic attributes of an individual. If we're going to get more people into cybersecurity, we're going to have to open up the funnel to more backgrounds. And so our engine, which is skills matching intelligence, which is the alternative side of that, looks micro to macro. We're trying to verify skills from longitudinal journey of an individual by looking at data from verified sources, such as educational transcripts, such as syllabi of classes might have been taken, such as HR records, such as financial data that might be able to be pulled from disparate scenarios. And all that comes together as comprehensive view with public data, so we can say, here's a high confidence understanding of the skills you have and the matches that you're going to need if you're going to go in the specific educational program that would best meet your personal ROI. And so to me, that's exciting, because I can see the opportunity within cybersecurity space, but I want to be able to open up that funnel so that people that can't go the route that people recognize, like my 4-year degree or a traditional pathway, might be able to take those boot camps, whether it's entrepreneurial journeys or other pathways that might get them there, so that we can then let them grow. Because as one who works in AI, I can tell you, I've got engineers that work for me that are brilliant who don't have a degree. It's not a prerequisite, The problem is if you're going to get to a skills-based economy where we truly believe no degree, we're going to need more signal than the traditional things that people have looked for. And that's what we're hoping to help solve so that cybersecurity can kind of flourish in the country.
Yeah. One of my favorite examples is literally the hands down one of the best tech professionals I know got a law degree and then somehow pivoted. So I feel like those pivots are pretty common in our industry. He made a lot of investment in a totally different career path, but has found an also lucrative career path in cyber and tech. So Dr. Pruitt-Menzel, I know a big piece of what you're working on is working on the education piece, K through 12, getting people early. I'm in the defense industry, and we have we joke now that you can actually sponsor the paper in the K through 12 school system if you live outside the DC metro, because there's such a demand among defense contractors to get access to talent early. So there's no such thing as starting too young. From your standpoint, what does that engagement look like, getting folks interested in these careers from an early age?
So from the earlier age, a lot of the K-12 programs are focused more on those general cybersecurity kind of principles, the digital literacy, those type of things. It's just really important then, and what we try to emphasize is don't forget that bridge between those kind of internet safety curricula and the jobs that take place. So we really try to bridge those. But we see things in after school programs. We see Girl Scout, Boy Scouts, 4-H programs, Boys and Girls Club. We see a lot of competitions, cybersecurity competitions that engage students in the K-12 in that area as well. And that can be not only your typical, red team, blue team, Jeopardy style capture the flag competitions, but we see policy competitions now. We see social media or social engineering competitions. So cryptologic competitions, multiple aspects to try to really engage students. We see a curriculum that is showing up more in the CTE level, the career technical education is more of the, hitting the ground for connecting it to the career pathways in the CTE programs and moving towards certifications. But we also see it being integrated into computer science in K-12 and Project Lead the Way with engineering as well. And what we're really trying to emphasize is how do we show that interdisciplinary nature, and how do we integrate it into chemistry class, into biology, into social studies, into the other areas, so that we show the interdisciplinary nature and also the real relevance to it in everyday settings. So there's a wide range of activities that happen in the K-12 space, both informal and in the formal classroom setting, and lots and lots of resources, probably more resources than people really understand, but lots of great activities.
Yeah, I almost feel like the cyber careers piece has become very similar to the military transition piece, which I used to work for the Department of the Army, and that was big. We'd always say there's so many transition resources. Almost, it's the biggest problem is sifting through all those resources that are available and deciding which ones meet your specific needs and career paths. So I feel like it's kind of the same in cyber. There are so many resources out there saying, hey, get a job in cyber, but to search through that noise, which is why I love your role in this, Adam, as an AI company, because that's what AI companies do, right? You're filtering through the noise. You're saying there's a ton of data around these topics. What we need to do is help filter in the right data and get the right information to the right people to solve these big problems that we have. I'm going to pivot a little bit to you, Adam, because I've heard you talk about this, and this is a passion point of mine, so I can't have you on and not talk about it a little bit. So skills-based hiring, which is big. So it's Cybersecurity Careers Week. We want to give some kudos to the government. They are acknowledging that this is an issue. I'm hearing more momentum around that. I've heard you speak to it. Why is skills-based hiring important for the cyber piece of this?
Well, look, I think it's massive. There's just no way traditional education is going to fill all the cybersecurity demand this country needs. And so if we don't open up the funnel to alternative pathways, we're only hurting ourselves. And so, the challenge, of course, is that, everyone's talking, let's go to a skills-based economy. It's time to do skills-based hiring. It's time not to use degrees as the only metric at which we actually should understand someone's background. And the problem is that right now at an HR level, the entire system is not capable of actually doing it. There's a lot of talk. There's actually no systematized way to do it. And by the way, it's not for people not wanting to do it. It's just that there's no way in which a traditional hiring manager can go and suddenly just say, that's it. All the signal I've traditionally used to figure out who this person is, I'm going to throw it to the side, and I'm going to just let everybody come through the front door and see what's going to go on. Traditional talent acquisition isn't designed for that, and the hiring managers aren't designed for that. And so to get to a talent-based economy, we're going to have to start to look at much more signal than just the degree. The degree should be part of a journey, not the destination. And so a lot of people can start at different pathways at community colleges or other training components. And as they go through their career, they very well might, if it's within their personal ROI and objective, get to that point and go farther. That's totally a personal choice, but it shouldn't be the only way in which we can understand if they bring value to the equation. And so for us, we partnered up with SHRM, the Society of Human Resource Management, and are getting prepared to do a really large project in the Midwest, which I can't give a ton of detail on, but the net of it is we want to systematize skills-based hiring. We want to actually break down and index the alternative pathways and all the different programs there, traditional to non-traditional. And we then want to help the employers understand, here's the top ones in index. They're creating the skills aligned for your specific role. And then also, here's the individuals in those programs that are specifically aligned based on skills to your role. And so if you do it for the employer, you can inverse that through verified data at a micro level and help the individual also understand which program should they even start with. And so to us, if we can open up that funnel and really start to create transparency via verified data on how skills match intelligently to better outcomes, we're going to start opening up a lot more people, especially from marginalized communities, to have a shot. But I would be remiss to not say it's going to open up a ton of opportunity for veterans who also bring a ton of skills, but unfortunately, military transcripts might as well just as be the man on the moon for a lot of hiring managers outside of MOSs. And that's another area, by the way, we're going to break down and crosswalk and automate so that people can understand those skills and then actually apply them to their specific role.
I love that. That's fantastic. And we love opportunities to get folks energized and excited about these careers, and things like Cybersecurity Careers Week can help to do that. It kind of helps, getting a little messaging out is a good thing, kind of opening folks' ears to the opportunities that are out there. So Dr. Pruitt-Menzel, can you speak to that a little bit? Like, are there different, events, activities as we're recognizing Cybersecurity Careers Week? If you're somebody who's out there who's in this ecosystem, in the cleared talent pool, but looking to pivot into a career, intersection points, inflection points, ways for folks to get involved.
Yeah, so in terms of, you're asking for those who want to get into it, what can they benefit from participating, or what companies can do too, or both?
Oh.
Okay, so yes, if you're looking to actually pivot, or you're looking for potentially going into it and you don't know which track to go into or which pathway to pursue, there's lots of opportunities to engage in webinars, podcasts, virtual career fairs, lots and lots of opportunities. So I would say make sure to check back constantly, and especially as we get closer to Cybersecurity Career Week on the NICE website for careers, because we'll have a list of all of those activities, as well as companies and industry and academia start to put out their commitments for, we're going to have a career fair, or we're going to have a job shadowing day, or we're opening up, opportunities for scholarships, or we're having a webinar in XYZ. They put it on the commitment portal, and then that way you can look at what is in your local community. But besides all of those ways to interact. And a lot of those webinars are a great way to see not only the different ways to transition and the different opportunities to sort of tweak, I'm in the financial sector, but I'd like to figure out how to connect that with cybersecurity, or I'm in agriculture. What does cybersecurity and agriculture have in common? But those are great ways also of connecting and networking, because networking is a really, really critical piece in helping find those mentors and those folks who help champion and help move you forward. There's lots of organizations, women in cybersecurity, Hispanics in cybersecurity, African Americans in cybersecurity, lots and lots of resources that all of those, and it's a great community then for you to engage in. So I would say, take advantage of all of those that are available, not only virtually, but with maybe in person in your particular community of interest or your location. In terms of how others can participate, besides all the things that we have, it can be something as small as just we have companies that start to put out social media and in terms of their employees talking about how they got into cybersecurity, what they love about cybersecurity, just a way of sharing that message. We have Twitter chats or whatever, not called Twitter. Twitter used to be called whatever it is. We have those, which is a great way to ask questions and whatnot. But we see other companies that start to really promote apprenticeships. They start to hire, internships for the next coming year. So it can be anything small, but also large in hosting an open house at their company, or job shadowing opportunity, or bring your child to work day so that you can get kind of a sense of those things in cybersecurity that you can share to give them a sense. So there's lots of ways to engage, and we have lots of resources that you can use in fun exercises or fun things to do if you're just trying to share with your comrades in terms of, bingo or escape room or scavenger hunts that connect with cybersecurity. So lots of resources, and really a way to make it fun, but also to have the public learn more about all of the opportunities that are out there.
I love that. I think having events like that can just, again, energize the community around it. Having consolidated places like NICE and NIST where you can look up these resources and find this information is key. I've spent, I don't want to say how many years at this point, translating information for the government, and our biggest struggle is not producing something, but making it possible for somebody to find it. So I appreciate the work that you're doing, consolidating all of that together so folks have kind of a one-stop shop to see what's going on. Encourage industry to play a role in this, encourage folks who are interested in the community to check it out and learn more, because I do think, like we talked about here, getting the right, filling this funnel problem is a big part of what we're doing here. So appreciate your support in what you're doing. Adam, appreciate the work of your organization. It gets me really fired up. If you check out the site, definitely check out AstrumU. It is a really cool tool, platform, resource for folks in this community, because we do have that gap in saying, hey, I want to do this, or I have this skill set, and bringing together that information is a game changer for our community. Those are my only questions, but I don't want to miss the opportunity to ask or talk about something that you wanted to bring up. So was there anything, either Adam or Davina, that I didn't chat about today that you wanted to discuss?
No, I think you covered quite a bit, and thank you so much for helping us spread the word.
Yeah, I agree. No, it was a great conversation, and I appreciate the time, and really just enjoyed listening to some of the feedback from the doctor.
Yeah. Well, and again, this is key. Like, this is what we're doing here in Cybersecurity Careers, right? We have to bring together academia, the government, and industry. And this is a key example of, you have someone who's a PhD working on solving these problems for the government, and a CEO of a company. We're all sitting at a table having a conversation. This is what gets me excited about what we're doing, and saying, hey, we have big problems and big hiring challenges in government, but we have innovators, and we have influencers, and we have folks with a lot of capacity and resources and abilities who are helping to address those problems. So get excited about Cybersecurity Careers Week, people. It's happening. So appreciate your time and appreciate the attendees who participated in our webinar. And thank you again to AstrumU for sharing your expertise and insights and making it all happen.
Thank you.